It's time to get all set for Sunday, a podcast for busy and distracted Catholics with your hosts, Scott Williams and Jeff Traylor.
When I hear the coffee brewing, I think, what the heck we doing? Because I got barely any sleep last night. As the diaper bag I pack with Hot Wheels dollies and some snacks, I say a prayer there'll be a seat in the crime room this time. It's alright, cause I'm all set for Sunday. It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for Sunday.
Welcome to All Set for Sunday, a podcast for busy and distracted Catholics to be a little more prepared for Sunday Mass. My name is Scott Williams. My co-host is Jeff Traylor. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Good. Hey, Scott.
I like your holiday outfit.
Thank you. I've decided I have a series of holiday-y things that I've decided I'm going to start rolling into my continued Advent and preparation for the Lord's coming.
Amazing. Father Meyer, how are you?
Oh my gosh, it is so good to see both of you. Blessed last day of Advent before the O Antiphons. This is like a big moment. My goodness.
So yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I totally had that on my radar.
You should. December 17th is the game changer in Advent.
What does that mean?
So it's the beginning of the O Antiphons, which the song O Come, Emmanuel. In some hymnals, they'll actually put the date next to the actual title of Christ, O Wisdom, O Key of David. And these all come from what is known, of course, as Vespers, which is the evening prayer for the Liturgy of the Hours, the prayers that all priests and religious sisters are required to pray. Deacons, many lay people pray them. Some of you might be familiar with Sing the Hours, which is a beautiful way to pray the Liturgy of the Hours with music. But every night, every single night, part of evening prayer is what is known as the Magnificat, or Mary's song, where we proclaim what Mary said after she visited her cousin Elizabeth. And there's always like a little verse, an antiphon, and beginning on December 17th, Advent shifts from the first focus, which is about the judgment at the end of the world, the second coming of Christ. And beginning on the 17th, we focus on the first coming of Christ. And so remember, in Advent, there's three comings. There is the first coming of Christ, the second coming of Christ at the end of time, and then the fact that Christ comes to us every day, of course, particularly in the Eucharist and the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. But so today is tomorrow is the official shift, December 17th. So all the biblical passages at daily Mass and on Sunday Mass, so particularly as we know, for those of you who are faithful followers to this great podcast, the last few weeks, the biblical passages about the end of the world and judgment. And now, when we come to Holy Mass this weekend, we're going to hear about the birth of baby Jesus. And that is going to change the focus. So today begins that day. It's also, if you do some counting, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh my gosh, it's 9 days. It's 9 and the significance of 9 days, as Catholics, we would call that a novena. So there you go.
Hot dog.
All right. Well, it was nice having everybody here. Bye. What an answer. What an answer.
That was good.
Thank you.
By the way.
Very good. Yeah,
good.
Very good.
How are Bright Lights going? Have you
Bright
been
Lights,
through
for those of you who
yet?
don't know what Bright Lights is, Bright Lights is southeastern Indiana's only free drive-through Christmas display. And it's put on by my parish. And it's been really, really good. We just received a testimony of a mother who has a fallen away son and daughter-in-law, but she's very devout. And when the family came home for Christmas, she asked if they could take the grandkids to Bright Lights, and the family was open to that, non-threatening, which is the whole point of non-threatening evangelization. And so they took them to come and see the Christmas lights, but it just so happened that we had a live St. Nicholas that was present there as well. And so they stopped to have their kids take pictures with St. Nicholas.
You tell me he's still alive?
Part of Bright Lights is we have a lot of catechetical signs that kind of like decode Christmas that explain Christmas wreaths and Christmas trees and bells and why these things are actually have a Christocentric beginning, the 12 days of Christmas, the catechesis behind that. And then on all of our nativity scenes, there's like little prayers that are next to them. And we just encourage people to read the signs. And so anyways, this none of her grandkids had been baptized. And the little kids were just blown away by this, so much so that they went home and begged their parents to be baptized.
That's amazing.
And the family's going to have their kids baptized.
Let's go.
So it's a really powerful just testimony of how sometimes, non-threatening, beautifully, beauty speaks, truth speaks, and apparently so does Christmas lights. So praise God for that.
That's awesome. All right. Ready for the 2-minute drill, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
It is the fourth Sunday of Advent. We're in the O Antiphons. I was going to cover that too, but Father already got it. Our first reading comes from Isaiah. We have, I always get this wrong, so I don't know. I'm going to go one to two directions. Probably neither one is right. King Ahaz. That's what they call me when I'm telling jokes. King Ahaz. You get it? Ahaz.
That was actually pretty funny.
King Ahaz, he is offered a sign from God, any sign at all. He says, give me any sign, anything that I can. But he politely refuses the sign. And God responds anyway, promising a sign that echoes through salvation history. He says, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son and shall name him Emmanuel. Nice. I think we all know what's coming from that, which is great. So even when human leaders hesitate or hedge or are like, I don't know if I want to deal with this, right? God is already showing us that he's got a plan and he's moving forward with this plan, and his plan is greater than ours. So quite literally, he's telling us that God is with us, right?
There you go. There you have it.
Responsorial Psalm, let the Lord enter. He is King of glory. Beautiful, wonderful, perfect message for fourth. Not a banger, but it's all right. The Christmas season is just full of bangers of different kinds. So the second reading comes from Romans chapter 1. So Paul opens up Romans, the very beginning. We're at the beginning of Paul's letter to the Romans. He opens it up by reminding everyone who's really in charge. It's not Caesar. It's Jesus Christ. That he descended from David, was revealed as the Son of God in power through the resurrection in the Lord. And Paul makes it clear that this is good news, right? It isn't new or improvised. It's not just made up. Like, this is a real thing, and it is the good news, and it is here for us. And it was promised long ago through the prophets, and now it's meant for everyone, all nations, including the saints in Rome, and yes, us too. And then our gospel reading. Our gospel comes from
Matthew.
Yeah. Oh, well, here it comes. We mixed it up. Gospel comes from Matthew chapter 1, 18 to 24. This is how the birth of Jesus Christ came about. When his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found with child through the Holy Spirit. Joseph, her husband, since he was a righteous man, yet unwilling to expose her to shame, decided to divorce her quietly. Such was his intention when, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid. Take Mary, your wife, into your home, for it is through the Holy Spirit that the child has been conceived in her. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. When Joseph awoke, he did as the angel of the Lord had commanded him, and he took his wife into his home.
All right. Well done, Jeff.
Thanks.
Father Meyer, did Jeff get anything wrong?
I thought the King Ahaz joke was probably one of the best ones that I've heard.
Are you going to drop that in your homily?
Should you write it down?
I did write it down. And
you can use that for one of your homilies this weekend.
Yeah. King Ahaz. I like that.
This will be 2 weeks in a row. Father emailed us and told me that I helped motivate his homily last weekend too.
He did.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll see if I can contribute anything this week. Father Meyer, what are you preaching on this weekend?
That is a great question. And this might be the first time that I ever actually am probably going to tell you what I'm going to preach on. Normally I just don't prepare anything and just make up something.
No.
Or I know what I'm going to preach on, but I don't want to, say anything. Or I really have no idea. Anyways, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to preach on this weekend. So at Ars Cafe and Meeting House.
Ooh, love it.
Little drop there. At Ars Cafe and Meeting House, I meet with lots of people. Sometimes I meet with friends, family, young adults, youth groups. So I also meet there with Protestant pastors. So there are some local clergy that sometimes want to meet me there, and we have conversations. And I was sharing with a brother who is not Catholic. And he was saying that their congregation has a tradition of celebrating what is known as Blue Christmas.
A blue Christmas.
Without you.
Yeah, there it is.
And I was like, what's that? And he said, well, Father, it's really beautiful. But what we do is every year on the weekend before Christmas, we celebrate what we refer to as the longest night, which is the winter solstice, which would be December 21st, which is the shortest day, the longest night in the whole year. And he said, it's an opportunity for us as a congregation to acknowledge before Christmas the fact that a lot of people really struggle during Christmas because of the death of a loved one, experience the death of a child at some point in their life, or financial hardship, depression, anxiety, family struggles, and that when we all come to church on Sunday, when we all come to church on Easter, when we all come to church on Christmas, to be mindful of the fact that every single one of us is carrying struggles and burdens and trials, and that it's okay to just bring these to the Lord, but we should probably actually name them before we come. And he says, so it's really just a beautiful prayer service that they do. Of course, they don't have the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. And so Father Hollowell and I were talking about this, and Father Hollowell was like, I think that would be amazing. And Father Hollowell was like, I actually have a letter that I've actually read at a Christmas Mass before. Enter Prop 1. And he said, it's a letter from Jesus. And the letter just kind of goes through and says, my friends, you're gathered here on Christmas, and I realize that this is hard for some of you, and that some of you have lost a loved one or death, whatever it might be. And it's very beautiful. And so Father Hollowell, I guess in some Christmases, for his Christmas homily, has read this before. And he says, people just cry, and because nobody often wants to acknowledge hurt and pain at Christmas time. And so when we were looking at the readings, how beautiful and how appropriate it is that it is Matthew's gospel, where Joseph is, told to take Mary, his wife, into his home. And then he's told that he's also that Jesus is, of course, Emmanuel. The song that we've been singing is a banger all Advent season, which means that God is with us. But when we say that God is with us, God is not just with us in the good times, but he's with us in the hard times, in our suffering, and in our struggles. And so it just seemed to be very, very fitting. So enter Prop 2 is that people are going to be handed pieces of paper when they come into Holy Mass. And they're going to be asked actually to write down the struggles, the burdens, the sufferings that are in their life that very possibly are why they might be having a blue Christmas and why they might have struggle in their life. And then we're going to be collecting those and presenting those all, and they'll actually be up at the nativity scene when they come to Mass on Christmas as a reminder that our sufferings are why he came and our burdens are why he came. And the beautiful thing about being Catholic, of course, is the fact that this is not just a prayer service, but then this is something that we do at every Sunday Mass. Before every Sunday Mass begins, when the priest comes out, we do announcements before Mass. The priest asks everybody to turn to their neighbor and to share one prayer intention. And then the priest says, we're going to invite you to take the prayer intention of your neighbor and to place it onto the paten, into the chalice, united to the bread and the wine, that it may become part of the one perfect sacrifice, which is what, of course, what we do is different, is that we don't just sing songs and read scripture, but we actually believe that Mass is Calvary itself. And so what a beautiful gift on this fourth Sunday of Advent in this Jubilee year of hope to hopefully give some people some hope by acknowledging their own blue Christmas. And I think it's going to be beautiful. So that's what I'm going to be preaching on, hope, and acknowledging the fact that Christ came for a reason, not just for us to dress up with reindeer sweaters, but because
not just a bunch of crazy Christmas lights. He's here for a reason.
We're all broken and we all have a reason. So I'm excited.
I think that is a twist I did not expect, but I like it, which is basically how I could summarize Father Meyer's homilies, I think, is you're always pulling an angle out that I've not remotely thought of, and you have just mapped out, and I'm like, man, that's great. You take me on a journey. And that's why I love when you start going and you've got all I know you've got all this prepped out and you start talking to us about it and you walk us through it. It's a journey. And I think it's beautiful that you're right in the fact that the holidays are filled with so much joy and in the joy of Christ's coming and our families and who we're with. But it also becomes a very quick reminder of those who we're not with and those things that are hard, or for those who don't have anybody to celebrate with. It's a very quick reminder of, it can be somehow like the busiest and most full time of the year, but also the most isolating at the same time. And there is, I think, this like keeping up with the Joneses of like, you have to be happy and you have to be excited and you have to be cheery, and not everybody is. So I think there's something beautiful about that acknowledgement of like, it's okay to, you've talked to us about this a million times. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to mourn and to think about those you've lost. But also like, it's okay to bring those things to the cross, to bring those to the beauty that is to come in the church, and to offer those up as part of the sacrifice. I think that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Are you going to invite the Protestant pastor to come join?
I think he'll be having his own Blue Christmas. So, but yeah, that's a whole nother story about that.
You can send him his video.
Well, turns out it'll be online.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. What I know, like each Sunday in Advent has like a specific like word or devotion that goes with it. Is there any type of like connection between
by the way,
fourth Sunday and Advent? And
if there is, that is not a part of the official liturgy of the church.
Okay.
I know, like sometimes we'll say like a different candle stands for hope or whatever else, but like remember,
joy.
As we've heard before, Advent candles.
Lutherans made this up anyways, and it doesn't really matter.
And it does matter what candle you light. And I do like the fact that there's been references to what candle that you light.
Thank you for your service.
I've heard, I've listened. But yeah, there are not like words in the liturgy or in the catechism that are associated with it.
Well, like the third Sunday is joy.
It's rejoicing. Gaudete. Right. So you could.
So there's that one. Is that the only one that counts?
Yeah, that's the only one that counts.
And the other ones.
The other three are just like
purplete.
It's actually violet.
Just different gelato flavors.
That would be awesome.
Graziatella on Sunday.
That would be absolutely awesome. In fact, my favorite gelato flavor is purple, which is Frutti di Bosco.
We'll just call the fourth Sunday that.
You could for sure pull that off and nobody would know. We're celebrating Blue Sunday or Frutti di Bosco.
That's right. That's awesome.
As they say in Rome, Frutti di Bosco.
Frutti di Bosco.
All right. Well, anything else on that?
I think that's what I'm preaching on. So I think it's just, and I think just like, for anybody who out there is listening, like, I think it is just to be really, really sensitive at this time of year, because emotions are high, but also grief is really high. Loneliness is high. And people who have lost a loved one, like it is shocking to try to celebrate Christmas when someone that has been a huge part of your life is no longer there. It's very lonely when that person is not there. But also just even financial situations, like when I can't buy my kids presents like I used to, or I can't do things the way that we used to, it's hard. And so I think just to acknowledge that is powerful. There's power in just acknowledging it and then giving that to the Lord, right? Not just acknowledging it, but then giving it to the Lord. It's beautiful.
So this Sunday, are people going to share those intentions with other people, or is they just going to write it down and put it in the manger?
They're going to write it down, put it in the manger, but then they'll, like at my masses, I'm going to encourage them to actually share that with, to share one of them with someone else.
Are you going to surprise them and the paper is actually flash paper, and then on Christmas you're just going to?
No, that was not. That,
no, on Easter, on Good Friday, they're going to nail it to the cross.
And then Palm Sunday, they'll burn them.
This is a youth ministry collaboration center in such a
Prop 3.
We're
3 nail
we're
gun.
all of a sudden planning the senior retreat.
3 a dove.
Prop 4, everyone opens a letter written to them by their mom and dad that they haven't talked to in years and reads it and cries.
Prop 5 gelato.
All right, ready for some dumb questions?
We should do a game where we give you 3 props and you have to just do a homily with them.
Oh, that would be awesome. 100% game. 100% game.
That's okay. We're going to do this.
I mean, Father Vince Lamper would be like your better bet at that. but I would be open to playing the game.
Do you think you could wing it though?
Oh, yeah. You don't
Okay.
think so? He's an
Well,
exorcist.
let's find out head to head.
Father Bill Marks also.
Is he a prop
Prop.
guy?
Yeah.
He
That was
my
the first thing
associate
somebody
pastor
ever
when I
told
was
me about
in-
him before he came to St. Mark is like, yeah, he's a prop priest. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, he has a prop in every priest. And I was like, no way. And then I saw him and he did. They were great.
When he was
effective.
my associate pastor when I was in high school, and he would give out free gummy worms after mass. He had like a big tub with a tongs, and any kid who came up to him and told him one word from his homily, he would give him a free gummy worm. And so I had no relationship with the church.
I'll have you know, Father, that was still going on here just like 8 years ago or so.
Perfect.
When we had him as a pastor at St. Mark, because my daughter would he'd show up with like a whole pack of Oreos after mass, or
He does
give
Oreos
out
now.
full-size candy bars during his homily if people would answer his questions.
I got
That's
word.
So anyways, I would go up to him and I would always just say Jesus. And I would be just like anyways. It was awesome. Good time in my life.
You know what? I had a prop priest growing up, and I remember a lot of those homilies.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it.
Sometimes they're amazing. Sometimes they can be distracting, but sometimes they're amazing.
Yep. All right. Dumb questions.
First dumb question. We're coming off of Gaudete Sunday. And after our conversation last week, I wanted to ask, Father, are your vestments pink or rose?
My vestments are rose, and I have a lot of them.
Are they really rose, though? Because as Father Jerry pointed out last week, a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what the color rose is, and they have beautiful pink vestments.
Okay, my vestments are not pink. When we talk about Pepto-Bismol pink, which is what most people think about, and bubblegum pink, I don't know many priests that still wear vestments that look like that. I think those are pretty much done with. But yes, we have rose vestments.
Okay. I wanted to check in on that. Second is this. I'm trying to, as a priest, I think about like being like a kid and like the days leading up to Christmas, right? You're so excited that like you're through Advent, the anticipations come, you're out of school, like you're just getting excited. Like when you get through Sunday Mass this weekend, is there a part of you that's like, okay, like it's go time? Like this is like, do you get hyped for that? It's like, it's a lot. And I know you guys have a lot to do, but like, this is like, it's just such an opportunity to like evangelize and share. And like the churches are full and people are coming back who have maybe been away. And like, is that like overwhelming? Is it intimidating? Is it exciting? Like,
Yeah,
I can
no,
just
it's a
imagine being
total
real
hype.
hyped.
It's a total hype. We have 13 masses being celebrated here in the county. And so preparations for that. And then we do this thing called Advent Adoration, which is on the 23rd at 10 a.m. until the 23rd and the 24th. We have adoration going on in all 7 churches simultaneously. And we just like command that every parishioner spend an hour in silence. And so it's just is the most powerful time because, all of our people are doing holy hours.
So you have 7 parishes doing like simultaneous holy hours for 24 hours.
Yeah. And so
Your whole county is in adoration.
yeah, been
That's
doing this
amazing.
I came up with this idea in like 2009 when I was at my first 2008, first Christmas as a pastor. I've done it every year ever since then. And so
That's
it's just
amazing.
like trying to say like, I know that your life is crazy as a layperson. If I want you to show up at Christmas Mass, like at all prepared, then the only thing that I can gift you is that our church will be open for 24 hours of silent prayer. And so show up. And people sign up. It's now, it's in the culture, right? I mean, this is my 12th Christmas here this year. And so there is this sense like, is this what people do? Some people go around to all 7 and make a little pilgrimage. But it's just that, anyways, so that's beautiful. But the masses are so, I don't think the masses are so powerful. It's just such a gift. I love to celebrate Mass, but to celebrate Mass at Christmas is, it's amazing. I love it. Yeah. There's
so
a lot of
cool.
masses.
Yeah, but so the 2 of you will do 13 masses.
Father Mann comes back.
Awesome. Oh,
So-
how wonderful. Please
Yeah.
tell him I say hello.
I will do so.
Yeah,
He has 3 of the masses.
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's good.
It's nice of him to peel away from his super important job.
Yeah. We're glad that he calls us home.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Well, luckily you guys got an extra room or 2 there.
Yeah.
All right, got any others?
I got nothing else.
No?
No. That's exciting. I'm excited to hear that you're as excited as I'd hoped somebody would be.
And we have bright lights open the whole time. So that's also a great joy as well, right?
Yeah.
For sure. All right, Father. Well, thank you.
God
Appreciate
bless you all.
Happy O Antiphon time.
O Antiphons, let's go. Blue Christmas, let's go.
Blue
Christmas without you.
It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for. It's alright, cause I'm all set for Sunday.